ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delayed Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. First, let us catch up with the major headlines. National Conference on Eritrea on Fauna and Flora. Training on administration and leadership. Pentagon warns Venezuela as two military aircraft fly near the U.S. warship. And Chinese president and Zimbabwean president announced upgrading of their country's relations. On our local reports, the Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Ministry of Land, Water and Environment, Ministry of Marine Resources, Forest and Wildlife Authority, and the National Higher Education and Research Institute, organized a national conference on Eritrea's fauna and flora in Asmara. The conference was held at the National Confederation of Eritrean Workers Conference Hall on 5th September 2025. The event, conducted under the theme Conservation of Eritrea's Fauna and Flora Safeguarding Our Future by attendees, the Ministry of senior government officials, representatives from the International Union of Conservation of Nature, and relevant experts. Director General of Regulatory Service Department at the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Takhla'ab Miskina, on his part, an introductory remark, emphasized the significance of the landmark event, stating that this conference is an important milestone in our national nature conservation efforts. Mr. Takhla'ab also commended the active collaboration effort of senior experts from Ministry of Land, Water and Environment, Ministry of Marine Resources, Forest and Wildlife Authority, and the National Higher Education and Research Institute. Furthermore, he noted that thanks to the efforts of the institutions over the past 5 years, about 5,000 terrestrial and aquatic fauna and flora species have been identified, documented, included in the national database. Mr. Emmanuel Nagasi, representing the Ministry of Agriculture, stressed that Eritrea's fauna and flora are the foundation of the national's economy, heritage, and identity. He urged the rehabilitation of the Eritrea's rich biodiversity by addressing challenges posed by climate change, habitat loss, unsustainable exploitation, and limited resources. He also called for stronger partnership with the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Minister of Marine Resources, Mr. Tawaldat Alati, emphasized that the conservation and management of marine resources and environment are central tasks of his ministry. He called for the utilization of newly developed national database of fauna and flora for information decision-making and collaborative scientific research, underscoring the need to enhance it through active community participation. During the event, the General Manager of Forest and Wildlife Authority praised the establishment of the national database while calling for practical steps towards rehabilitation of the country's fauna and flora in addressing the root cause of threats to biodiversity. Mr. Tasfai Gabraselase, Minister of Land and Water and Environment, highlighted the critical role of environmental stewardship and ensuring sustainable future, stating biodiversity, of which flora and fauna constitute essential components in fundamental of human health and livelihood. He underscored that the loss of biodiversity, particularly fauna and flora, can be reversed through concreted nature-based rehabilitation actions and continuous awareness-raising programs. Finally, he noted that the database will serve as a critical input of the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan of 2026 to 2030, currently under preparation. During the conference, papers were presented and discussed on the objective and process of registering and documenting Eritrea's fauna and flora and characteristics of the country's terrestrial and aquatic biodiversity and structure and functionality of the database, participants, and selected automatic group engaged through the discussion on these topics. The National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the southern region organized training on administration and leadership for 195 youth, including 117 females. The training was held at Kudo Hembasha Hall in Mendefera. Mr. Abraham Tesfamaram, coordinator of the program, explained that the training conducted from 29th August to 3rd September covered meaning and significance of administration, communication, leadership, and their influence. Mr. Girmay Gabru, head of the branch in the region, noted that 90% of the branch activities targeted students and commended the active participation of youth during the program. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. 2 Venezuelan military aircraft flew near the United States Navy ship in international waters, the U.S. Department of Defense has said, in a move described as highly provocative aimed at escalating tensions between Washington and Caracas. The Defense Department warned Venezuela in a statement late on Thursday to cease further provocative moves, describing Venezuelan aircraft buzzing over the U.S. vessel reported to be the guided missile destroyer Jason Dunham as an attempt to interfere with our counter-narco-terror operations. Yesterday, 2 Maduro regime military aircraft flew the near U.S. Navy vessel in international waters, the Pentagon said in a post on the X platform. Maduro has raised alarm for weeks over the U.S. naval deployment in the southern Caribbean, claiming the U.S. was seeking a regime change through military threat and promising that if attacked by Washington, he would mobilize the country and declare a public in arms. On Tuesday, U.S. force destroyed an alleged drug trafficking speedboat in an apparent airstrike in the Caribbean. Trump said the boat belonged to the criminal organization tied to Maduro, and the attack had killed 11 people. Legal experts said that in the eyes of many people, those on board were civilians, and the attack would be seen as extrajudicial killing by the U.S. forces. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa announced in Beijing on Thursday that upgrading their two countries' relations an all-weather community with shared future. The announcement was made during Xi's meeting with Mnangagwa, who is in China, for commemoration marking 8th anniversary of victory in the Chinese People's of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries, Xi said at the meeting. China will continue to firmly support Zimbabwe in identity exploring and a development path that suits the national conditions, oppose external interference and illegal sanctions, and work to safeguard the common interest of the two countries and the global South. Xi called on the two sides to take the opportunity of the alleviation of bilateral relations to explore new cooperation concepts, expanding cooperation in infrastructure, construction, mining, investment, trade, and other fields, and promote efforts to upgrade bilateral cooperation. He also called for joint effort to jointly implement the Global Governance Initiative, built in the International Organization for Mediation and strengthening cooperation in the Global South, as to promote development of the international order toward more just and reasonable direction. After 45 years of development, Zimbabwe and China relations have become increasingly mature and resilient, Mnangagwa said. Zimbabwe stands ready to work with China to implement the relevant initiative and uphold international fairness and justice, he added. On our last report, Democratic Republic of Congo on Thursday declared a new outbreak of the deadly Ebola virus after a case was confirmed in South Kasai province, saying there were now 28 suspected cases and 15 deaths. This will be a Central African country's 16th Ebola outbreak, the health ministry said in a statement. It said the presence of this virus had been confirmed in a 34-year-old pregnant woman who was hospitalized in August with symptoms including high fever and repeated vomiting. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. National Conference of Eritrea's Fauna and Flora. training on administration and leadership. Pentagon warns Venezuela as to military aircrafts fly near the U.S. warship. Chinese president and Zimbabwean president announced upgrading of their countries' relations. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.